Welcome back to The Advisor. And I have another issue here that a lot of guys who are out there might be able to take on board and hopefully live better lives. This one concerned this guy. He's extremely shy. He wrote to me some years ago and I had responded. This was from about 2019, 2018, but this problem still persists. And I think we should go through it and see what you think. This guy is extremely shy, very, very shy. He says at the time that he could not speak to women in any great way because as soon as he starts talking to them, his brain goes blank and he gets very tongue twisted, tongue tied, and it just never works out for him. So he kind of, withdraw in that sense, not knowing how to really deal with it. And he says, though, that his friend doesn't realize it because among his friends, he tries his best to play it off as if he is okay and all of that, but he simply lacks the confidence. And he wants to know that because I was so verbose, how I would deal with it. Now, as I said, this is a letter that I had responded to some years ago, but I think the problem still persists. And I'm here to tell guys how to overcome that kind of shyness. If you have any shyness whatsoever inside you, this is how you overcome it. In order to do this, though, I need to go back to give you a personal story. And this is a personal story about my life, something that happened to me at the age of 17. I was back in about 75. I was 17 years old. And I was living in Harborview on Orion Avenue. And this is the situation that changed me because at the time I was extremely shy. I mean, I could talk to a woman about anything on earth except anything that's personal or intimate. I would say anything because I was always a very verbose person. I could talk on a wide range of topic and did speak on a wide range of topic. I just could not speak on anything that concerned intimacy or too personal. Anyway, I remember I was living in Harborview on Orion Avenue, as I said, and there was this young lady who moved in across from us. Her name was Sophia. Sophia was about 16. I think I was probably a year older than Sophia. And Sophia lived across the road, moved in. She moved in the summer of 75. So at that time now, she's on holiday and I was on holiday. So I started talking to her because my sisters and her started talking, my younger sisters. So I got to know her and eventually it reached the stage over the summer holidays that I would go to her fence like every day, every afternoon, and we talk. I would just stand outside on the sidewalk and she would be inside on her side of the fence, and we would talk sometimes for hours, So it went on like that throughout the entire summer, and I liked Sophia. I really got to like her a whole lot. However, in all that time, I never told Sophia anything about how I felt about her, even though I really, really was very, very fond of her. Anyway, summer ended, and before I go into that, there is this friend of mine called Philip. Now, Philip lived on my side of the road. He lived a few doors up about 5 or 6 houses up on my side of the road. Sophia lived across from me on the other side of the road, and I would just walk over across the street and speak to Sophia at her fence. Now, when Philip was not there for the holidays. It looked like holiday came and he went off to stay with some relatives somewhere else outside the community, and he came back like the week before school or a few days before school was to begin. So what happened now was that Philip and I, get back in our flow. He was my brethren, and we were always communicating. We, always sitting down reasoning. But what happened now was that I realized that I was spending more time with Sophia at her fence now than we would spend together. I mean, Philip and I would hang out. So I was more hanging out with Sophia. So eventually, Philip started coming to the fence. He didn't come to Sophia, he come to me, and he would stand up, and I introduced Sophia and Philip, and they would talk also while I'm there. One thing though, Philip never actually went to that wall and talked to Sophia unless I was there, because he accompanied me, you know. Eventually, however, you would find that Philip and I would be standing side by side at that fence talking to Sophia. After about 2 weeks, 3 weeks tops, I think it was maybe about 2 weeks of three of us there talking, that one evening we both came home from school. He's a KC boy and I was JC. He actually went to he was coming in from school and he stopped at the fence while I was there, talking to Sophie, and we were all talking. Then I hear Philip did something like this. Hey, Eddie. Well, he called me Eddie because Eddie is my pet name. Eddie, so me like the girl, yeah? Me like the girl Sophia, me like her. I say, really? I say, yeah, man, Sophia nice, man. I want nice girl. Hey, as a matter of fact, me not like her, Eddie. Me love her, Me love her, Me love her eye, man. Her eye just twinkle, so she does nice. Hey, girl, your shape good, And Philip went on, and he spoke so eloquently and so confidently to Sophia. He spoke about all her lovely attributes, because she had beautiful hair, beautiful eyes, nice little nose, lovely figure, sweet voice. And Philip mentioned every single attribute about Sophia. And believe me, Sophia lapped it up. And believe me, Philip laid it on like when you're laying butter thickly on a bread. Then after you lay on the butter, then you come to and you lay on the peanut butter. After that, then you lay on the marmalade and the strawberry jelly. Then you lay on the mayonnaise, and everything is like you just laid on everything quite thickly. And Sophia lapped it up. You could see it in her eyes. Her eyes twinkled when she heard those things coming from Philip. But here, Philip was about 15. I don't think Philip did reach 16 yet. He might have been 16, but I know I was older than him and Sophia. So Philip was about 15 going on 16. Sophia was 16 and I was 17. And I stood there in awe as I watched Philip really buttered up that girl. And she loved it. Well, I didn't say anything. I just laughed it off and played it off and thing. But what I noticed is that now, after that, Philip started going to the fence without me, I never too feel no way because I understand it. But as time went on, maybe I was a bit naive, but as time went on, like another 2 weeks, I noticed that Sophia start go up a Philip yard. Sophia don't ever come on my yard and me live next door now. Sophia start go up a Philip yard. Well, Philip had two younger sisters, and I think Sophia might. They were started communicating with Sophia also. So I assume that maybe she went up there to Philip's sisters. However, one day Philip came to me about 2 weeks later, maybe 3 weeks tops, and it tell me that, hey Eddie, me and Sophia have sex, me and Sophia they right out now, me and Sophia I'm a girl, me, and me and she, do the business and so on and so forth, so forth. I mean, I really felt down. I really felt, bad because I was very disappointed because I was really hoping that I would have someday be the one for Sophia. But it didn't work out that way. But I never hated Philip. I never felt any way towards Philip, any way bad towards him. Reason being, I never told Sophia I had any interest in her, romantic interest in her. He did. I never told Philip that I liked her either. So even though Philip and I grown so much and I'm dupes, I never looked at Philip and said, Philip, hey, I like Sophia too, Ray. I did nothing to stop it. I just stood aloof of the situation and allowed it to get away from me. And when I heard that Philip actually reached the promised land where I really wanted to reach. I mean, I was like, wow, yeah, I was very hurt, disappointed really, but I carried on, and Philip had it's not Philip's fault, it's my fault. So I don't know where in the world Philip Pennant is now. Yes, but Philip Pennant, you taught me one valuable lesson. Once you have something to say to a woman, just say it. Well, after that, I learned that lesson well. I started practicing on the women in my house in terms of how to speak to women. I started calling my mother sweetheart, darling, baby, and and all those wonderful terms of endearment that one could call a woman. I use those words to my nieces, my female cousins, my mom, my sisters, and anybody that I could get away with. I called women all the most wonderful names, and I started practicing on the women in my house how to offer compliments. Compliments very important. And I did what Philip did, tell them all the nice things about themselves. And after that, I spread that worldwide. Every single woman I met in my life, I used some very sincere and very deep terms of endearment. So I practiced and I practiced and I got it right. I mean, it eventually just flowed so wonderfully that I found that, I overcame my shyness. But as a matter of fact, I overcame my shyness within a month. I was really like Philip, and it came so naturally, and it has remained for the rest of my life. So there you go. The point I'm making is by giving you that story is this. Faint heart never win fair maid, and no woman going bite you. She will not bite you because you tell her nice things about herself. In fact, women thrive on flattery. She will want to hear what you have to say and she will listen. So, all you have to do is when you have something to say that's wonderful about a woman, say it. She will only love you and appreciate you and respect you more for being nice. Okay? And just try it and start complimenting the women you meet throughout your life, and just compliment them. Just give general compliments, and you'll find it easy to do as you go along. If you are in school, or if you are in college, or if you are in the workplace, just tell women casually nice things about themselves. Yeah, I love your hair. I love your eyes. You have such beautiful skin. Whatever, you know what to say. But don't lie. Just speak the truth and tell women nice things about themselves, so that when you meet that special one, your feelings will just flow and flow naturally. Okay? This is Xavier giving another piece of advice there and saying over and out.